Hi, I'm Boat Test Editor Eric Colby, and today we're on the brand new 250 OSX from Chaparral Boats. I'm going to do a full features inspection and performance evaluation, so let's get started. Now, starting at the stern, we have swim platforms on each side that extend 34 inches by 22 across. There's a 5-inch cleat that's a pull-up, but then also up high there's another one on the stern, and notice this stainless steel chafe plate. It's a nice touch. This hatch for the ladder is on a tension hinge, so you don't have to worry about holding that while you deploy the 4-step ladder. Another thoughtful feature. As we work our way across, you've got room to pass between the motor and the splash well. Freshwater flush. Access plate gets you to components you would need to get to down in the bilge. And then over here, okay, up top we have a fuel fill, then the stereo remote, which is standard, a nice touch, and down low is the pump out. You have the same cleat installation that you saw on the starboard side. All right, this is an 8-foot 6-inch wide boat, which means you don't need a permit to trailer it. Having a fuel fill on the port side and here on the starboard means when you pull into a land-based gas station, you don't have to choose which side you're going to fill from. Now, it's a 4-inch step up to a passageway that's a foot wide in between the stern seats. Now, what's amazing about this is how easy these seat backs slide. There's no ratchet, there's no click, it just moves, and you're either forward facing, you're aft facing. Put it back into the forward facing, undo a latch, and the whole thing picks up. And there's a huge storage tub in there, 31 inches long by 17.5 wide and 15 inches deep. But always thinking about access, because the folks at Chaparral are boaters. You can pull the tub out, it's light, your steering pump's down there, your fuel water separator, your oil, anything you need to get to. Yes, you're going to have to crawl a little bit, but the access is there. Good example of how much space you have. There's 3 life jackets in there, and they look like they're barely touching the bottom. Okay, from this aft passageway, 1 foot down into the primary cockpit area, 88 inches from the base of that step, all the way up here to the base of the helm console. Then we're 42 inches wide. So there's a lot of space to work with in here. Our test boat had the optional C-deck matting, and notice the size of these drains in the aft corners of the cockpit. 3.5 inches in diameter. For all the features we want during a day on the water, grab handles, courtesy light, 2 stainless steel beverage holders, JL audio speaker, and this is repeated on each side, and we have a clip for the table instead of a hole in the deck, which we like much better. We have additional bench seats on each side, deep storage. On the port side, we also have your battery switches, circuit breaker, and an air pump for blowing up water toys. Now, gone are the days of calling these compartments ski lockers. This one's 80 inches long. The opening itself is 15 inches wide, so you probably got a few inches on each side, and it's 16 inches deep. To give you an idea, you put your life jacket bag in here, give it a shove forward, close it down, and you still have plenty of room. The second of your 2 under-deck lockers, 30 inches long. The opening is 16 inches wide. It goes wider than that outboard on each side, and it's 16 inches deep. Opens on a gas strut, and you got access to your batteries. If you need to remove the batteries, you will go through the removable bins in the aft bench seats. Our test boat has the optional water sports arch, and it folds down with the push of a button if you got to clear a low bridge. The matte finish on the optional tower gives the boat a nice contrast to the sheen on the seats. And also notice you're not going to hit your head on aluminum if you're sitting facing inboard next to the tower. The helm is finished in a nice dark upholstery, gives a classy look and feel. 2 7-inch Simrad screens come standard. You can split them up using one for engine data and the other for navigation. And stainless steel plates on each side are your accessory switches that are clearly labeled, and they light up when they're powered up. Ignition is alongside the tilt wheel, and your stereo is to starboard just ahead of your digital controls. For those who like their music, you have 2 speakers in the bow, 2 more in the cockpit, 2 alongside the helm seats, plus a big subwoofer under the helm console. On both bucket seats at the helm, you pick up the left-hand lever to move the seat fore and aft. You raise the right-hand lever to rotate the seat inboard. Okay, in the port console, there's a glove box up top. It's got some tension hinges on it that are brand new, but there's padded place for you to place a cell phone, something like that. No charging ports of any kind. And the port console opens nice and wide, and inside there's a private head. They have upgraded this boat with the porcelain Tecma with the pump out. It normally comes standard with a porta potty. Overall headroom in this compartment is 44 inches, and seated headroom on top of the toilet is 32. There's a stainless steel sink with a pull-up shower, mirror, and an opening port. When the temperatures get a little chilly, close off the air dam, close off the windshield. The passageway to the bow at its narrowest is 21 inches wide. And look at these seat backs, 17 inches. I'm in up to my shoulder, and I've got a perfect grip on the rail. You've got padded bolsters all the way around in the bow. The center cushion is removable, so you can step up to work the anchor, and there's a non-skid underneath this snap-in area. For bow storage, insulated cooler. On the port side, notice that these hinges hold the seat bottom up on their own. You can use two hands to remove the short leg for the bow filler cushion. This is a thoughtful touch, so the legs for the filler cushion don't just flop all over the place. They lock into position. Small things, but again, they've been out on boats and they know things shouldn't flop around. To starboard, the grab loop gives you an idea that this is going to be a bigger compartment to access. Inside is your bow filler cushion, your leg for your table in the cockpit, and your dedicated storage for the table. You also see the back side of the subwoofer is protected, and the JL audio amplifier. On each side of the foredeck are two 6-inch pull-up cleats, and in the center there's an anchor locker with clips for a Danforth style anchor. The anchor locker hatch, like we've seen all throughout the boat, has tension hinges that hold it up. Makes it easier to deploy an anchor when you can use two hands. Now, Chaparral designed some generous depth in this boat throughout, with 33 inches to the cap rail on the bow, 31 alongside the helm, and 30 right alongside the tower. There's also tall freeboard on this boat, 36 inches at the stern, 43 next to the helm, 43 at the bow. Our test boat was powered by a 250 horsepower Yamaha 4-stroke outboard, which was plenty of power. The Chaparral 250 OSX measures 24 feet 6 inches long with an 8-foot 6-inch beam and a draft of 18 inches. Our test boat weighed 4,200 pounds without engines, and with 3 people, full fuel, no fresh water, and test gear, we had an as-tested weight of 5,721 pounds. Powered by a single 250 horsepower Yamaha outboard spinning a 15¼ by 17-inch saltwater series propeller, the 250 OSX hit a top speed of 47.32 miles per hour at 5,700 RPM. We recorded best cruise at 3,500 RPM, where she ran 27.1 miles per hour and burned 8.7 gallons per hour. This translated to 3.1 miles per gallon and a range of 168 statute miles, with 10% of her 60-gallon fuel capacity held in reserve. In acceleration tests, our test boat planed in 5.6 seconds, hit 20 miles per hour in 7.2, and ran through 30 miles per hour in 10.4 seconds. The 250 OSX held minimum plane at 24.2 miles per hour. If you've run a boat with Chaparral's extended V-plane bottom, you know the benefits of the design. Most boats have a running surface that stops at the transom. The extended V-plane goes all the way back to the trailing edge of the swim platform, acting as trim tabs basically. This helps keep the boat level, it comes up on plane more quickly, and in turns the stern doesn't squat. You come out of the turn, you can accelerate, and maintain great grip through the turns, had a nice comfortable lean. This propeller was really hooked up. The boat handles very well. The 250 OSX from Chaparral Boats is a big boat that's going to appeal to the family. It's got great handling, solid performance, and lots of amenities. For Boat Test, I'm Eric COLBY. And remember, if your boat's under 26 feet, wear this, it's the law.